Persistence pays off. Persistence pays off as Liverpool win 1-0 against Nottingham Forest at the City Ground. Big up everyone that's watching the Rams stand. I hope everyone is doing well at this moment in time. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe if you're new. On the road to 1,000 subscribers. Currently on 865. So if we can get it to 900 by the end of the week, that would be very much appreciated. Leave a comment on this video what your thoughts are on the game. Have I missed anything out? Are there anyone that deserve any praise, which I highly doubt. There's going to be a lot of people being praised today, but we'll get straight into it. As I said in the preview, big up Drifty. Must-win game for both teams. Going into this game, both teams could not ask for a weekend or a Saturday night that we got last night. The fact that Chelsea dropped points, the fact that Villa also dropped points for Liverpool, but not only that, Forest also got a helping hand from Bournemouth as West Ham also dropped points as well. So both teams needed a win. Both teams desperately needed a win for their own futures in the Premier League, but also in Champions League football as well. So it was a high-stakes game. And to be honest, from the moment it kicked off to probably the final stages of the match, Forest looked like they wanted it more. I got to keep it a buck. Forest looked stronger. Forest looked faster. Forest looked a lot more better on the ball, created a lot more chances, and we just didn't look like we were getting out of first gear, let alone second gear. We couldn't string 5 passes together. It was a horrible, horrible watch from start to finish. You're talking to the likes of Mo Salah being poor. Cody Gakpo's been poor. Mac Allister was poor. Gravenberch was horrible today. Ekitike, poor today. Majority of the players that played today were very, very poor. And the fact we got bailed out by a Mac Allister goal after missing out on his first goal to a handball to get a second one, I'll say has been very, very fortuitous. We were very lucky to come out of that game with 3 points. Very, very lucky. And we're at a point this season where, look, I'm happy that we got the 3 points. I'm happy we got the win, but performances need to improve. Performances need to improve on a regular basis. Like, it's all good having a couple of really good games and then the next game being poor. We need to have consistent, dominant games from start to finish. I don't want to see a poor performance in every 2 or 3 games. Maybe in every 5 or 6 games, I'm like, okay, cool. We play poorly, but overall, we've looked really good. We've looked really good. And you know what? I said this on the terrace. I'm going to say it again. We should just call ourselves Dexter FC. Dexter FC. Why? Because the manager coming into this game had a situation where, unlucky for him, Florian Wirtz was injured in training in the pre-match warm-ups. So we're like, okay, our best players, our most creative outlet is injured. It looks like we have to move Szoboszlai from right back to the midfield. So I was like, okay, cool. Curtis Jones will go right back. It will be the same sort of game that we played against Brighton. That's all fine. However, when we started the game, I saw Szoboszlai playing at right back. I'm like, are we really doing this again? Have we not established that Szoboszlai is our best centre midfielder this season, and yet you're still going to shift him out of right back? And we're playing Jones in the 10. Jones in the 10, which is crazy. We couldn't play just a flat 3 in front of the defense. Or do we still have to play the 4-2-3-1? Why can't we change our overall structure a little bit? Why is Szoboszlai playing at a right back where we've seen him dominate games in central midfield and looked a lot better in central midfield? And we saw Curtis Jones. And Curtis Jones today, oh my God. The guy had to be shifted at right back because when he did play in that 10, touches were poor, passing was poor. He looked so out of sync with the rest of the players. And that goes for every single one of them. Everyone just looked out of sync with one another. Absolutely everyone. The players that I think deserve a lot of credit today is the likes of Alisson, because he was asked to do a lot in goal and he did the job properly. Wasn't tested a lot, maybe in the first couple of minutes with that Hudson-Odoi chance, but overall, you could tell that the quality of Forest was very much lacking today. And we were lucky that we didn't face a team that had the quality on the day. Virgil van Dijk and Konate were very good today. I mean, given the fact that they were let down by the rest of their teammates and had to do a lot of defensive actions today, like Van Dijk had to do that interception against Igor Jesus. Konate, who was up against Igor Jesus, was a lot of physical battles in multiple areas of the pitch, was relatively untroubled. It was a very, very good and dominant display from both our centre backs in a time where we needed them the most, and thoroughly deserved their clean sheet, in my opinion. Thoroughly deserved their clean sheet. But we have to move beyond the defence to the more forward-thinking players, the midfielders, the attackers, which has been sort of like the story of the season. We've been so poor in midfield, where it's been non-existent at multiple occasions this season. We've been so poor up front, where we're asking players to play as ISO wingers when they don't have the capabilities of doing it. And we make the substitution later than we need to do, which makes it a lot worse and a lot harder to back the manager. Ekitike. You know I have a lot of time for Ekitike. You know I was very happy that we signed the guy. But I've never met a guy that's 6'2", 6'3", and can't head a ball properly. That chance at the end. Look, I'm going to give a lot of credit to Ortega because I think that was an amazing save from Ortega. But a player of Ekitike's quality, where we expect him to finish away and tuck away chances, he's got to be doing better there. He's got to be doing better. It's either you have to work on that game, because that's probably the one thing that's really lacking in your game. Because your other areas of finishing was very good, but your heading ability is horrendous. Horrendous. Mac Allister, big up Mac Allister. I think he had a very indifferent game, very good patches, but also very poor patches at the same time. But he got his goal. Unlucky with the first one, where his persistence unfortunately was punished because it did hit his arm. So by the rules of the game, it is a handball and the goal should be disallowed. But like I said in the earlier in the video, persistence pays off, and Mac Allister's persistence paid off today, because he ended up getting the goal that he desperately wanted. The guy at the right place at the right time. And I heard Jamie Carragher say that it was an open goal. He should be scoring that. I've seen many players this season miss open goals, not only for my team, but for several other teams in the league. And the guy was at the right place at the right time. He had no business being in a penalty area, but he was there. He was at the right place at the right time. How many times have we given so much credit to Diogo Jota, God rest his soul, because he's always at the right place at the right time? So big up Mac Allister for being at the right place at the right time. I think I said that about 4 or 5 times, which shows how much I needed that goal to go in. But in other areas of the pitch that we need to discuss, Mo Salah and Cody Gakpo. I think a segment needs to be talked about those two, because whilst we all know Gakpo is not of the quality to play for this team on a regular basis, Mo Salah is also on that same pedestal as well. Both of them should be dropped. There's a reason why I don't want the team to play with wingers anymore, because those two are just not cutting the mustard, and those two are not performing at the level expected to play for a Liverpool Football Club side, one of the best teams in the world. Why? Every time they get the ball, they lose it. Every time they try to take on their man, they can't do it. Every time they do take on their man and beat him, nothing happens. Nothing ever happens with those two players on the pitch, and we need to do better, and we need to demand more of these players. And if that's the case, the only option they have, because we've given them the whole season and they've been poor, so the only other option we have, you got to be dropped. You got to be dropped. I've said this before. I'm a massive advocate for the diamond. I think it's the best way of getting the best out of all these players. Play Rio in the 10, because it looks like Florian Wirtz might be out for a little longer than expected. Play Rio in the 10 and play Chiesa with Ekitike up top. Run me that formation, run me that system, because it gets the best out of all we got so far. I feel like we can get the best out of Szoboszlai. Our midfield is a little bit more structured, a little bit more condensed as well, which is probably what is needed at this moment in time, because there is no midfield at all with this system. This is the way forward for me at Liverpool. But the question is whether the manager will do that. whether the manager would take the risk, whether the manager would do what is necessary, which is to play players who are out of form and play players who deserve to be played and take out the players out of form. He hasn't done it this entire season. Do I think he would do it this season? No. Why? The evidence says otherwise. He's been playing Gakpo for the entirety of the season, and now he's letting Gravenberch play for the entirety of the season when both of them have been poor. And he's also played he's also the only person he's probably dropped is Salah because of what he did, because of the fact that he spoke out and apparent relations being broken from there. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But happy with the win, not happy with the performance. But we move on to our next game, which I do believe, if I can get that up for myself, our next game is up against West Ham at home. Again, another side that's fighting for relegation, but it's at home. So I would be expecting another win for Liverpool, and it's got to be a better win than that. It's got to be a better win than what I saw from today. A better performance. Players got to be stepping up, and players got to take responsibility as well. This is the moment where players need to take responsibility and grab the game by the scruff of the necks. That's what I believe, and I do believe that is the only way we can move forward with this team. But big up everyone. Again, with another quick upload on this front. A little bit downhearted because of what's happened in the game, but we get the win. More than happy, but we move on to our next game against West Ham, and hopefully Man United drop points and Chelsea drop points next week as well. But big up everyone. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you're new, leave a comment on what your thoughts are on the game of specific players as well, and I'll see you guys in the next one.